All right, we're going to check out a new feature that's coming out tomorrow, I believe, on PeakMonsters for our loyal users that are Tier 5 in the future. We will make this feature, here it is right here, available based on using PKM. We're just trying to get a few features out before we release an ability to access it with PKM. All right, so to those that can use it, here we go. Price at level is the new feature. It defaults to price at level 10. But as you can see, all the different levels are here, and including at the bottom, maybe of special interest, is the ability to do certain popular um, leagues. So the max cards that are available at each of the leagues. So level 5 commons, level 4 rares, level 3 epics, level 2 legendaries. So you can kind of, if you're playing in that league and you want to know the basically the cheapest cards that are available for your league, you could click, for example, on this, and you would see that that some of these commons are first. So it's a lot of reward cards. It tends to be there, but you can always use the same set of filters that PeakMonsters specializes on, quite a few different filters. So we could go and say, well, what's the cheapest summoners? And you'd be surprised to see that there presently is a beta card in that list. So, and you notice that there is a orange around it. That's because a certain someone, myself, is considering buying that one because I went through this price at level and was like, well, that doesn't sound right. That's a beta card, a card that can earn 5% more on reward points for every time you use it. Plus one health, level 3, an old card. It's got some staying power, and also look, $4.14 a piece compared to when you go down to the level ones, it's 680, but there's quite a few um, of these level 3 versions here, including all the way down to $5. But between $5 and $4.14, that's decent there. Um, you can go and check different leagues, perhaps. So Liana isn't necessarily very. It's not like lowest on the list in bronze, but if you're playing silver, it's a great opportunity. It's so cheap, and the Kretch may be a good option for those that need a dragon card. It doesn't really have any particular um, specialty, but it is the cheapest for silver play. All right, so here's something that I want to explain how it works. This +1 BCX. So the BCX column shows you how much BCX you need for this level. If there's a plus next to it, it means that the cheapest card that we could find for this level happens to be +1 BCX. So that would be 25 plus 1. So let's go take a look. One would guess that, well, we could probably guess what that means. It's probably four of these fives and the 6 are the cheapest combination. So, because if you were to do, yeah. All right. Yep. Just checking to make sure that works. Also, we should note that we spent a lot of time improving the bulk calculator. No matter if you're here or if you're in the grid or list view, when you go here and click on the bulk buy, we spent a lot of time improving the how this works to make sure we had little to zero um, like levels that we don't have the absolute best price on. If you ever see one, and you do the math and you say, oh no, there's actually a better price, let us know, because we did a lot of work to make that work really, really well. All right, and as you can see, we even show you that sometimes the best cards in these are actually going to be, instead of 14 BCX, it's going to be 16 BCX, or 26 and 10 to 25 was the best calculated price for that level. So, and it really does. I mean, I spent a long time double checking and looking through tons of different cards to make sure we found the best prices. All right, so back to the compare. I'm going to show you a couple of the cards that I found were pretty good. I was very interested in summoners, so looking at 543. What I also like to look for is any of the gold cards here. So what is the cheapest in the list? You go down here and you have a General Sloan here for 107. So you can also go by edition, each edition, and see what the cheapest are going to be. You could also say to yourself, look, for just twice as much money, I can get the gold edition. Is that worth it? It only costs 2x basically at this level. Now, level ones may be or 1 BCX cards may be very different, but at level 4, it's only twice the difference. If we go here, it's a little bit more than twice, 11 compared to 26. Let me show you something fun here. If we go into dice and we just look at all cards, we're going to see that the Marrow's Ghost at level 3, because we're on Bronze League, is 214. But for the gold, it's only 323. And even better, for Frost Lion, which you would need 14 regular cards, it's 343. But for the gold, you only need 1, and it's 368. So this really helps highlight some of those differences between golds and regular foil cards. So the other day I used this and I said, well, the Goblin Darting is so close together. Now it's a little bit further apart, but 369 versus 495 is a pretty good, dang good deal. So now you could look at the summoners in here as well. They're not quite as close, but you have some really interesting opportunities. Are the gold cards worth it to you? Look at this one. You could get a gold for less, not for less, but like it's less than the double, that we were seeing in some of the other ones. So 172 as opposed to basically 100. So it's not that much more percentage to get the gold version. So you can see that sometimes it changes in the higher leagues here. So for example, 484 for the regular foil version might as well just do a little bit percentage. I mean, it's 210 extra dollars, so that's not a little bit of money. But if you're going for 484, you could probably stretch it to get the golds for 691. And but I guess that's up to you, of course. It's all up to you. We just give you the tools to do awesome stuff. So in general, we would be very interested. I would be very interested to see how everyone uses this. I would love to see videos or posts about people using it. Definitely tag PeakMonsters, share it on our Discord channel when you do these videos or posts. We will definitely upvote it. Maybe give it a tip as well if it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of other ones. Again, like I said, I was focused on summoners and finding really good opportunities in that. So I'm looking at the Liana. Also, some gold foil ones were pretty interesting. So I clicked to gold, and I saw that it's not too much more for the obsidian. Let's go to Bronze League, and let's unclick on Gold. And so as I go through the list, the Obsidian was kind of, you know, it was a good deal. It's about the same as Tarsa at the moment, and not too much more than in the Chid and some of these others. So I thought, well, might as well grab the gold foil version. It's it's cheaper than some of these other ones, like the oh, look at this one, this Tyrus. Eh, well, anyways, I don't know what my thinking was on. I think I just wanted more obsidians, and the Maloric seemed to be a good deal at uh, level 4. So we go into silver. Look at here, Maloric's here, but then we have a gold foil version, not too much more. So I was kind of looking through this list. This is where I was. So in gold foil at at silver, it was just stood out to me that there was a beta so far down on the list. Look at that. It's the fourth cheapest um, silver league gold foil was a beta. So that's why I'm considering that one. Here's a Tyrus. But I mean, it does jump up from 130 to 180. That's probably more along the lines of where the Malric should be, around where the other betas are. So we could just look at just the betas and look at how the price just shoots up. Some of these are kind of ridiculous here in pricing, but these two are 180 and 190, 300. So it being that far down at 130 just kind of stood out to me. You could go edition by edition and see how they change. You can reward doesn't have too many, and even the Untamed were more expensive than the Malric, so that's why I was thinking about it. Now, you're going to have to keep an eye on this feature, just over time, because when it releases, you're going to have a lot of people like me that go up and find things that were just hadn't been spotted for a while. I know there's a lot of users that have talked about good finds that they have found, but they've spent a lot of time and effort looking for them, adding them up with their little calculator, and now we're doing it all for the user, and it'll be pretty easy to spot these things. So, you think that the Contessa is that much worse than the Mother Kala? Maybe. Or is that a good deal if you're looking for a Silver League card? So we can up the ante and go to the gold level gold league cards and look through all of them and see that the General Sloan seems to be pretty low. The Thaddeus and look at the Malric is kind of dropped down in the list of cheap cards, which means to me that Silver League one is an even better deal than I had thought. So I'm definitely pulling the trigger on that one, and I am still considering this Liana that is so low here. It's just seeing these betas so far down. These betas will be playable in Wild and well, in the Wild edition, so they aren't available in Modern. So maybe people are thinking, well, I should grab some of these Chaos Legion because it's playable in both leagues. But also, on the other hand, these beta cards and sometimes the alphas, look at this is the cheapest alpha we have on the list, they give you a reward bonus. And they have pretty good skills here too if you like the +1 attack for 3 mana. I don't know, just showing you a bunch of different little features here on this. I am interested to hear how everyone else is going to be using it. So I think what I'm going to do here is look at some of the the neutral cards and find the cheapest for Silver League. And there's quite a bit of a gap here between the Lion and the Devil, which I find interesting. And it is about 3 times more for the gold. So I kind of like this. So we could show you that, or I could show you how some of these things work. So in the reward editions, it's going to take a little while to load some of these. So you see there's 13 cents here. You can also click the bulk. It's going to load them again and again. The rewards cards, there's so many of them.
Best high performance commuter of 2020.
All right, give it a moment. There's so many rewards cards. It's just taking a little bit of time. So you could click over here and grab. In this case, it says it's going to grab you for this level 6. It's going to grab you 87 cards. So I'm going to click there and add 87 cards to my shopping cart. And then you can also do a bid right from this page. All right, some other good options is the cheapest Chaos Legion neutral card is the Zenith Archer, the Spellsmith, the Disintegrator. They're all in that $5 range. I'm interested to see maybe in bronze how they compare. We got a couple of the Chaos Legion cards even being a little bit cheaper in this area. So I'm actually going to click first the bulk button and I look at these prices here. I like that 201 and it jumps up to an average of 207 over there. So we're going to add these 5 cards. And I think we're just going to pull the trigger on all of these. If I spent 500, I'd get a few more PKM, but I don't think I want to spend 500 today. A couple of Sidians, a Malric, a Liana. Definitely going for some of those summoners. And they are purchased. So those particular ones won't be available, but you now have all the tools that you may want to use. And perhaps some of the other YouTubers out there will do a better video than mine. I always suggest you listen to mine at a faster speed on YouTube. I'm just kind of doing things live usually, not super scripted posts. They're almost kind of just like live videos where I am testing out a few things on my own and hoping that other YouTubers will do a more polished, scripted how-to sort of thing. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye-bye.